Soto, Shohei, Vlad Jr., Tatis Jr., Acuna Jr., Wander. Before we deep dive on Wander Franco, I wanted to tell you, if you're collecting sports cards on a limited budget, this is the video series for you. Hit subscribe. That's what I talk about. I do a lot of tips on how you should collect cards, tips on grading cards, tips on supplies, different things you can use. Sports card collectors like me, who aren't buying $3,000 cards, need a little help, and that's what I do in these videos. I share some advice. Wandermania, as you know, it is in full force. Not since Shohei Ohtani arrived in 2018 have so many people been trying to track down these rookie cards, especially right now. After 2 years where Wander Franco was ranked the #1 prospect in baseball, he finally gets called up last May 2021, plays really well, and now here we are, 2022, top Series 1, his first true rookie card. So the question we're posing is, will Wander Franco's rookie card join the rookie cards of the Big Five: Soto, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Ronald Acuna Jr., Fernando Tatis Jr., Vlad Guerrero Jr. as the most sought-after rookie cards of any set over the past 5 or 6 years? That's what we're going to dig into. We're going to break down how Wander compares against those other 5 guys. Also, I wanted to let you know, stay to the end because I'm going to share 4 other players that I think will join those other 6, the top 10 cards to seek out over the next few years. So first up, we're talking Juan Soto, the Washington Nationals. This guy was runner-up to Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Rookie of the Year balloting in 2018. And now that was when he was 19 years old. Now he's just 23 years old entering this season. And he's landed top 5 in MVP voting in the past 2 seasons. Juan Soto, you got to love him. He's going to be somebody everybody's going to collect him for the next few years. He's an on-base machine. And he also has that Soto shuffle, so you got to love him for that. Fernando Tatis Jr. For me, this is one of the best cards to collect because of the personality behind it. I can see non-baseball fans being excited about Tatis Jr. over the next few years. People love him. People love to hate him. He's one of the hardest hitting guys in the majors, and he leads the league in swagger. You got to love that. He made the All-Star game in his age 22 season. He led the NL in home runs with 42 last season. And in spite of playing just 130 games, he was certainly considered one of the best players in the National League last year. And like I mentioned, this guy's recognizable outside of baseball, much like Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Shohei Ohtani. Everyone knows Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay, well, let's get to Shohei Ohtani. He should have Jr. after his name to join the other guys. But Shohei Ohtani, this guy, the mere fact there's about 3 dozen Project 70 Topps cards out there with Shohei Ohtani's picture on it, that should tell you a little bit about how card collectors are excited about it. He literally does it all. He's a power hitter. He's a power pitcher. He cleans up after the games are over. He does the news at 11. He does everything. Shohei Ohtani, a little bit of everything. 2 continents love him. Let's throw in the fact that he stole 26 bases last season. There's only 7 players in the majors that stole more bases than Shohei Ohtani. The guy that hit 46 home runs last year. Only 2 players hit more homers in the majors. So look, he's a good-looking, charismatic guy, and he happens to play in one of the largest media markets in the world, with multiple cultures loving this guy. What's not to like? Now, granted, his pitching may slow down as the years go on. He might eventually just move to hitting. But until then, he's a two-way superstar, and he's even getting teams to look at two-way prospects a little bit differently, thinking about letting them go 2 ways as they join their organizations. Now we come to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Now this guy, he's been impressive his first 2 seasons, but it's 2021 where he blew up. And that's what's making his rookie cards even more sought after. Just think about this for a second. It took a Ruthian season from Shohei Ohtani to beat out Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the MVP in the American League in 2021. That's how impressive Vlad's season was last year. Now he's coming off his first All-Star season. He has a fantastic young lineup around him in the Blue Jays. Things are looking up for Vlad, and he's only entering his age 23 season. Now we come to Ronald Acuna Jr. Now he has a torn ACL that he's coming back from, but this is a 2-time All-Star. He's been in MVP consideration from 2018 to 2020. He's a two-time All-Star that beat out Juan Soto for the Rookie of the Year award in 2018, and he's been in the top 12 in MVP voting from 2018 to 2020. Now, Acuna does have a chance to be a 40-40 player. He was just 3 stolen bases short of it in 2019, and that knee injury could slow him a bit. A lot of people are expecting that, but remember, torn ACLs aren't what they used to be. And while that torn ACL does knock his value down a little bit, remember that torn ACLs aren't the career derailers that they used to be. And he's very young. He's still very young. He's coming up on his age 24 season. So Acuna Jr. definitely still ranks among the top rookie cards to get over the past few years. Okay, now we come to Wander Franco, the shortstop superstar for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's entering his age 21 season. Now let's first go over the things that are going for him, okay? He's a shortstop. The hobby loves shortstops, especially power-hitting, super fast shortstops. They love it. As I mentioned, he has power and speed. He's going to be staying in the same jersey for a few years. A lot of times when a player trades teams, there's a mark of demarcation there between his true rookie card and his rookie card with his new jersey on it. A lot of people want that as well. But in this case, Wander Franco, he signed a long deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. He's going to be with the Rays for a long time. The Rays always seem to stay competitive, even though they're in the AL East, which is another reason why Wander Franco is going to be a popular pick, a popular rookie card for collectors. He's facing the Yankees. He's facing the Red Sox. He's facing Baltimore. Like, these are old historic teams, and you have a chance to show them up, which is going to make collectors love them even more. Now, the team could move. They could relocate at some point, and maybe they go to a better destination and he becomes an even bigger superstar. So that's something to consider, too. The guy has a big smile. He can be fierce. He's got a lot of attitude, a lot going on there. There's a lot of personality. Wander Franco is eventually going to be a first-round pick in a lot of fantasy leagues, so we're going to be hearing about him a lot. As I mentioned, he's a two-time #1 overall baseball prospect for 2 years, so that alone is something that's going to have a lot of collectors buzzing. So here are a few things that are now going against him. He has a good lineup around him, but not great. He's the best player in his lineup, so he doesn't have a lot of protection. Tampa Bay is a small market, so it's tough to imagine him being on a ton of endorsements all over the country. He plays in an ugly stadium. I don't know why that's a detriment, but the Trop kills me. I wish they would get a new stadium. And while he has a lot of things going for him, he still hasn't played a full season in the majors, so a lot of things could still go wrong, including he could have a major injury that could derail his entire career. But we could say that about all of those. But the other guys at least have a little more of a resume, if you will. So the final analysis, judging from Wandermania surrounding his prospect cards and, of course, his 2022 Topps Series 1 rookie card, there's no doubt that Wander has already bullied his way in to get in that group with the Big Five. So we can now probably call it a Big Six at this point. If he has a great 2022 season, he's locked into that top 6. All right, so as I promised from the beginning, I have 4 other players that I think are going to round out that top 10 rookie cards that you want to collect over the past 5 or 6 seasons. So those guys are Luis Robert, of course, from the White Sox. That guy's power hitter. He's got a lot going on for him. He's only played in 124 Major League games, if you could believe that, over the past 2 seasons. But he does have 24 home runs in that span. A lot of promise for Luis Robert. Also, Bo Bichette. And then we'll go to St. Louis, Dylan Carlson, and finally, Kyle Tucker, Houston Astros. And Yordan Alvarez is right behind Kyle Tucker. I like him too. Here's a suggestion for you. Go over to Scotty B Cards and check out his video. I'll link it in the description. He does a video on the top 10 players under 25 that you should be collecting. It's a good list. Check that out. All right, everybody. Now I want you to rank your top 5 players that you want to collect. Rank them in the comments below and let me know if Wander's going to be among that group or if he's going to be number 6 or if you're not even thinking about him at all. So speaking of Wander, check out my 2022 Topps Series 1 break where I'm hunting down a Wander rookie card. Have a happy hobby.